Yay, we're live. We're live now.
You're supposed to write the letter.
So I'm here at ACC and I'm going to do my talk and hope you guys enjoy.
Can you? Make sure.
Write the letter. I thought that.
Yeah, just like that we would like to invite you to do this and make sure she signs it and then you get that information that Nita needs. And then if you can get that to Nita.
So can we do that?
We're live now.
So can we do that online?
All right, excellent. Thank you. Okay, great. I missed a few.
That's good. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. My name's Lou. Thank you for coming just to talk to us. I'm really excited because I'm a music major here.
Cool.
So super stoked for what you got.
Thanks for coming.
So do you want to use a PowerPoint? Do you want to use the PowerPoint you sent? Do you want to use it on your computer?
Oh, I didn't bring my computer.
Oh, okay. So.
Can we? I have an SD card that I brought.
Oh, okay. That's great. Well, it's okay. I have nothing right now because Lane has access, so I never put anything
Hi, hi. All right. Don't look. We all do that. Aw, man. Yay! So I'll probably start with that slide, but you can rest on the second one, the second slide. Oh, there we go.
this year. So last year was only 2, this year was 4. And they added yeah, so it was like 4. But because honestly, and that was
Okay.
Let's give it some time. Let's give it It's always nice to catch up. Okay, so everybody move up to the front, please, just to make it easier for Bekah to talk to you. I didn't turn it on yet. She showed me how. Old dog trick. It's either a button or a push button.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be voice activated. That's the purpose of education. Okay, so thank you all for coming. Wow, Bekah's taller than me. Okay, so thank you all for coming. And before we start, I'd just like to sing one after-school song for you. No, I'm just so I want to say thank you. I've got my notes here. I want to say before we start, thank you very much to Honolulu Community College and everyone who was involved in getting this room, especially April Ching, without whom I would not have been organized enough to do any of this. And I also want to thank the International Education Committee for putting together this week, which is what we're here for. So I hope that a number of you get inspired to go overseas and try someplace other than Hawaii in the United States, because it will change your life. Honolulu CC has an international education committee, and the goal is to focus on promoting international education through activities like today's talk, the study abroad programs that we have, and there are many, ranging from 2 weeks to 2 years, so what fits your schedule and your budget. And there are scholarships available as well. And we also host international students. Our faculty and staff work hard to introduce the joys of international education and working with other cultures to enrich our lives. And it really will change your life, so hopefully you'll take advantage of international education opportunities. That's not my phone. Okay, so my experience with Bekah, I'm a very lucky person. I happen to study popular music and popular culture in the Pacific, particularly Japan and Korea, and along with a close friend and colleague of mine at UH West Oahu, which has a tremendously good program as well, Dr. Jason Chun, I have had the opportunity to teach popular culture courses at UH Manoa for a couple of years, and now I'm teaching a popular culture course here. There are also pop culture courses in several of our other programs, and through Dr. Chun's connections, etc., I had the chance to meet Bekah just about a year ago. About a year ago. Yeah, and it's been really interesting to get to know her, and I've heard her talk a number of times. So I'm not going to say anything except that she will inspire you, and that we're very lucky to have her on campus. I also want to just remind you that popular culture is really relevant, and hopefully for those of you who tend to think of popular culture as less than important in your lives, you recognize from Bekah and maybe from further study how much of a mirror on our lives it really is, the way we produce it, the way we consume it, the way we think about it. So thank you to Bekah for coming. We also want to thank the Melee program for helping us promote this, and have a good time. We will have, right after I get done, Bekah is going to give you a talk, and then we'll have a Q&A session for about 25 minutes after that, and then for a while after that, for 30 minutes or until we run out, whichever comes first, we'll have an opportunity to take photos with her. So please be gentle at that time. Okay, so without any further introduction, this is Bekah.
Thank you, Dr. Pat. It's always good to connect with you. And hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. And thank you. It's always great. So I got to have the opportunity to speak at UH West Oahu, at UH, and LCC. And I'm glad I'm here. I'm trying to hit all the campuses, I guess. KCC's next, I hope. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and it's going to be really, I want to kind of set the tone for the talk today. It's going to be very casual, you know, just to let you know, some people think, oh, you're a K-pop star. Yeah, I was, but, I'm just like you guys. Like, it's, I have dreams, you guys have dreams, you have aspirations and such, and I'm just going to share with you a little, my experience. And the reason I like to have a long Q&A is because, I can tell you, but I would rather have you ask me, and then I can be like, we could dig deeper together. Yeah, sounds good? Okay. Anyone here? Can we get a hey? Hey, nice. I like that. So, I just want to say before I start to take advantage of the programs here. And, for me, I grew up with a single mom, and from a especially Asian, she didn't speak English that well, and at the time, so I would say I didn't know how to do these things. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to take, these opportunities. And so I would say, if you don't know, great. That's why you have, professors. That's why you have counselors. Really take advantage of that, because they know, and they can help you. They won't know all the answers, but they can help you. So that's kind of what I want to start with. And actually, before I start, maybe some of you aren't familiar with the girl group that I was a part of. So I just want to kind of show a video of us. This is our song Bang, and it's from, this is from one of the major broadcasting channels. I'm in the middle right now. There's a lot of us, right? So we're made up of, at the time, I believe, 8 girls. Yui was busy, Yui and me, but this is us. So we were known as a performance group, so we did a lot of dances and singing and higher energy stuff. Yeah, and so that's a little bit, I'm not gonna make you guys watch this, but that's a little bit of what I did in Korea. But before we go into Korea, I kind of wanted to go through, where did I come from? Where am I from? And so, I was born and raised in Hawaii, Oahu, and I graduated from Mauna High School. Any MOHS people here? Hey, we got one, yes. I'm awesome. And also, I was very tan before, and I had a lot of, like, maybe a little bit more bleached hair, because I used to surf, believe it or not, and I used to skate. That was kind of the people that I hung out with, kind of into that scene. I loved art, graffiti, etc., etc. So that was my high school time, and yeah, I was, you know, a lot of, you guys have been through changes too, right, from high school to now, so that's kind of what happened. And I was just an average student. I didn't get the best grades, maybe in art, and things like that. I didn't really have a focus, to be honest, at the time. But I maybe you guys are wondering, how did I go from, you know, Hawaii to Seoul? And so this is what happened. So I was at a Korean, oh, let me show you some photos. Okay, this is our group. I'm over there. This is our group again. I was blonde at the time. And that was our group behind the scene. That's Kaya Ni, that's Gianna Ni, and that's one of our stages. And so this is me. So my hair didn't look that blonde right now, but that was me. That was me. I'm a lot tanner than I was, and that's my sister, and I just love the water. And so how did I get scouted? Well, I was at a Korean church volleyball tournament, and I wasn't gonna go, but I had the opportunity to go, so I was like, hey, great, because I love volleyball, right? So I went nonchalantly, just doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, this 언니 that I know, so 언니 in Korean means kind of like older sister, older 언니, like an older female sister kind of a thing. And she was like, hey, I have this scout person here, and they wanna, you know, they're looking for people for a girl group. And so I was like, it's kind of sketchy. So I was like, okay, but wait, I'll tell people, I'll tell them where I'm at, where I'm auditioning, so at least, you know, we have a trail, right? So finally that audition day came, sketchy, because it was in the service room. They just had this petite lady just has this video camera. I'm like, okay, good thing my mom was with me. So always take someone you trust with you, okay? And so we did that. We filmed in the service area with, you know, the awesome housekeepers going in and out. Me doing a couple songs, and then also a dance in the service room. That's pretty awkward, but hey. So we did that, and then I guess my video was submitted to, you know, the CEO basically, and he was in LA at the time. So he flew over, and I had a second audition. And so I did that, and he said, okay, we'll see you in Korea. And at the time I was 16 years old, I was still in high school. And so what did training look like, right? So at the time here, I went to Korea, winter break. Who remembers winter break in high school? It was pretty long at the time, right? So in December, I went to Korea, and then in the summertime, I went to Korea. And what we did was, basically, I think it was like 10 a.m. to around maybe 7 p.m.-ish or 6 p.m.-ish. I would stay in the rehearsal building. So we had a building dedicated for, we had an awesome rehearsal room, and we had a couple rooms with just music, and our music teacher would come. So basically training, I know maybe you guys are familiar with how K-pop people, artists, they trained. So that's what we did, that's what I did. And so it looked like that in my high school years. Then I finally graduated, and then, yeah, a year later, I went to Korea. I moved to Seoul, and that was Gangnam area. Do you guys know Gangnam Style? Yeah, but who doesn't, right? Now the question is, who doesn't know Gangnam Style? But yeah, so we lived in that area, and again, it was the same thing. It's just longer hours, and we're going to go into more detail about that. But yeah, that's kind of how training was, how I got scouted. And then before I go into during, actually, I want to kind of go into more of training. So remember I said that I left for Seoul for good, kind of a thing. So what I did was we had training now from like 10 a.m. to like 10 p.m. And you basically stay at the rehearsal area. basically it's your job. It is. And you just kind of invest a lot of time, and you get teachers, and you practice how to, do photo shoots. We had a lot of concept photo shoots, which were really fun. So we would try all these different outfits, different hairstyles. I tried some wigs on, and I was like, cool, this is fun. I could do this. And so that was kind of what I was going into. And I'm just kind of throwing out there broadly because I know you guys might have your own questions. So please hold on to them for a Q&A. And yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. And then during, when we debuted, I think this was one, so this photo right here, this was one of the studios that we were at. It was awesome. It was one of my favorite studios. And I just got there early, and I was taking a picture. It was winter. It was cold. And here we have, this is our team, so hair and makeup, and that's Lizzie. Who knows Lizzie? Cool. Okay, cool. She's awesome. All the way on the right here. So this was when she was fairly new still, and yeah, she was there. And this is us when we were in Singapore, I believe, and we were doing some performances too. So I got to travel to Thailand, to Singapore, to Japan, and there was a lot of opportunities that came, and it was really great. So during, also that's backstage. How long do you guys think hair and makeup takes? Just shoot it.
3 hours.
3 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours? 5 hours? Actually, you're pretty close. 3 hours. 3 hours. That's right. 2 hours if we're rushing. But so our whole crew would come with us and travel, which is amazing. But who had their makeup done at prom? Oh, for girls, right? It takes a while, right? So it's kind of like doing that every day almost, or maybe 4 times out of the week. And it's nice, but not at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning when you had practice 10 till like 1 a.m. the day before. But you know what? It was all worth it because that's kind of, part of the gig, right? Part of the life. So that's what we did. And then this is okay, you guys got to remember, back then we didn't have an iPhone, or if we did, the quality wasn't great. So this is probably a digital camera, and the photos, after many years, it just lost high res. But this was one of our rehearsal rooms. So how do we look?
Tired.
Exactly. So basically we live and breathe in this room. If we're not on stage, if we're not performing, this is what we're doing. Again, you sacrifice for what you want to do, right? So that's what we did, and hard work paid off because it just, we always had a good time on stage. But yeah, I'm right there in the red. Looking I know I'm very sweaty there probably. But anyways, that's kind of what it looks like. And that's your CEOs, your managers up there. And then behind there where the blue Annie, I think that's Soyo Annie, that's another room back there. So we kind of just live and breathe rehearsal room, and or else we'll be training somehow. So again, if you love it, like I know some of you guys are studying music here, right? Some of you, yeah, you don't mind staying in the studio or in your computer for hours, right? Even though it's hard, to some people, you do it because it's just, you're drawn to it. Yeah. So exactly. So that's kind of how my mentality was. So K-pop and me, post K-pop. So the reason, let's see, I left K-pop, where maybe that's something you guys are curious about, and a lot of people are, and I haven't really talked about it that much, but it's because, good morning. It's because it's just a lot of things. You guys know that K-pop, idol life, I don't like using that term, but idol life, like, it's not. Who thinks it lasts a long time? No, right? You guys know that. It doesn't, and one of my oppas, so kind of like an older brother, he said, "Hey Bekah, you gotta have a plan B. You gotta have a plan B because this won't last forever." And so I really considered that, and I said at a certain age, if it's kind of not going, where it's going, that I would kind of transition out. And it was even more than that. It was just a lot of health issues, emotional, even mental. We're talking about mental health, right? And also physical. Like, it was just really draining. And I don't want to pretend to say like it was the life or it was glorious. There were moments where it was very electrifying and fun, but there was a lot of moments where it's a sacrifice. There was a cost, and I didn't know it at the time because I was very young. But it did take a toll on me, and that's why I kind of made my exit. And I think it was the best choice because at the time, and for me, because post K-pop, Kainani got married, and I got to be here to celebrate with her. I love hiking, I love Hawaii. I'm so happy that I'm back. That's like my friends and my fam, and just the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of the time when you're working so much, it was like Christmas every day almost because it was like going so fast. Like, it was Christmas already is what I mean. Life really whizzed by really quickly, and at the time, it's how it goes. But the point and the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys was to really encourage you to be in the moment, to be here, because life is very short. Thank you so much. So life is very short. And one thing that I really learned from K-pop, besides learning from amazing people and amazing talented producers and photographers and videographers, is that life was way too fast. And I would really encourage you to be in the moment. And what does that look like? That looks like knowing that you're good enough right now. What you have is what you have right now, and make the best out of it. And I know we're on an island, and it feels very small. And yeah, it is compared to other people, but I really want to challenge you guys to not compare yourself to what's out there. Learn from it, but how are you going to do it here? Because you're here right now, right? So be in the moment, grab what you can, because the world is so connected, but make it your own here. Be in the moment, and it's never until you get there. You'll always be chasing. You'll always be chasing. But I really want to challenge you, because that's how I was when I was in K-pop, which was, I won't be happy till I would get there. And I didn't understand what that meant, but now I just realized that, man, utilize what you have right now, make it the best. So if you're studying music, do the best that you can. Now go out, go look. If you have opportunity to travel. And I don't know, some maybe here are studying culinary or language or English or etc. Make the best of it now. Don't think you're going to be happy until you get there. What do you have now? What are you thankful for? And that's a huge lesson that I learned in K-pop, because life was really going by quickly, and I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I was never happy. Well, I was happy, but it was very short-lived. So just kind of a huge thing that I want to share with you guys, and you don't have to take it, is that be in the moment. And what does that look like? Being thankful and utilizing what you have to the best of your abilities. And I know that's a little broad of my whole K-pop thing. That's why we have the Q&A. So, I mean, what time is it? Yeah, got some. Oh, let me tell you a funny story. Okay, let me tell you a funny story. Maybe it's not that funny to you, but it was to me. Who works in sound? Okay, some of you guys are going to be able to relate. So, I was in a major broadcasting TV show, kind of like, what I showed you before. And we had a mic like this, right? And so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Diva, but there's a dance move where you have to jump. You have to jump a lot, so you're always moving. One time I had this mic. I don't know why they gave us a cordless mic like this, but we're doing it, and then I threw the mic all the way over there. Seriously, the stage was huge. This one was huge, and I just threw it there. I was like, oh no. But I didn't know how much trouble I was in, because you got to return your mic to the sound team, right? So I went and I gave it to him, acting like nothing happened, and he was like, don't do that again. I was like, I'm sorry. And I never let it go since. So I think I learned my lesson doing that. And then, I don't know if I want to share this, but one of my members, okay, there's a concert called Dream Concert. Are you guys familiar with that? Yeah? So it's like a huge concert for those that don't know. It's like a yearly thing, and we have like all the major, players on stage, and I think there's like maybe thousands, like 10,000 people. I'm not sure, it's a huge venue, but it's big like that. And what happened, we were rehearsing, and I don't know if it was raining, but we were rehearsing, no one was there. But all of us were doing our dance, I think it was Bang. We're doing it in one of the slow moments. And then one of my members falls, right? That's not the funny part. When they fall, that sucks. They fall, and then they stay there. They just stay on the floor, like laying down like this. And I think it's because she was mortified. I'm not going to say who it was, but I was like dancing, and I was like, what are you doing? I was like, get up. So I was like, here, Onni, get up. So it was Onni. I was like, get up. So she got up, and I think she was like super mortified. So there are moments like that on stage where you fall, but you gotta get back up, okay? Even though you feel stupid, get back up. And if there's someone that is there to help you, get back up, okay? It's about getting back up. And another thing, I fell on stage too. I saw one of my members sink into one of the stages too, because it was like a college event, so they have makeshift stages, right? And so it was awesome. It was pumped up. And then one of my Onnis, again, Onni, she went to like the edge of the stage, and then she starts sinking. And she's like, no, but she was okay. No one was harmed. So that's why it's funny. So she was sinking, and she's like, oh, she looks back at me. And I'm like, okay. And I grab her. I guess I kind of grab people, from the floor for my group. That was my second role, I guess, which is not just the rapper, but also I'm vocalist, but also get people off the stage, get up. So that was kind of a few of the things that happened. There was like many more moments, but I'm sure you guys have behind the scene moments too, right? With your lives. So it just looks different. And I just wanted to let you know, like, yeah, you are where you are, and you got what you have. Make the best of it. So I think that concludes my little blurb, my talk, my little speech, you could say. But now, like, it's time for the fun stuff, which is Q&A. Let's get it. Yeah. Okay. Do we want to do you want to like?
Run the mic.
Two mics. Thank you, Lane. Can we give Lane a round of applause? He helps set up everything also, so. Yeah, and if you want to follow me, you can follow me. I'm not forcing you guys. No temptation. Okay. Let's go right here. Cool, awesome. Yeah, and we'll start with the gentleman in the DGK. I haven't seen DGK in so long.
So,
What's your name?
says,
Right here.
my name is Amin. So, my question is, what was your defining moment to where like you made it? Like your career being like a celebrity, I guess. Like what was
What?
like a certain moment? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, there was a couple moments. But I guess the more shocking one was when I was just kind of walking down the street, or I was at a restaurant. Normal things, right? And that's when people started to notice me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're Bekah from After School, aren't you?" And I'd be like, "Yes." But exactly, like when I was just living life regularly, and it started to look a little different. Like strangers start noticing you, and they start knowing things about you, and they're like, "Oh." That was one of the defining moments, like a personal thing, but also when you say make it, I guess when we won like an award, major broadcasting awards, when we finally got to, at the end, like they announce a winner and then they have a flower and a trophy or so. So when that happened, that was one of like the more like industry moments, you could say, where it's like, whoa, we did it. Like we're something in the sense of like, oh, we're recognized in the industry. So that was the kind of the two moments that did. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Don't be shy. Right here. And then,
Hi.
hi.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay. Let me try to answer them.
Yeah. So one question I was curious about. So you were recruited when you were 16, you mentioned, right? What is like the normal age that someone in Korea would be recruited at?
I think you guys would probably know that too better, but then if not better, which is probably when you're like elementary, when you're young. As you know, if you can sing, you can dance. They're going to try to train you. So there's people that actually train for about like 10 years or 15 years or something extreme like that. But for me, it was a little bit different because I trained for only about 6 months because we were trying to like hurry up to get the girls together. So my training was a little unique, but I know people that have to do it for years, you know, and it's a lot of time they invested.
So like for someone who's recruited like in elementary school, like however young that is the training like the same? Like I know you mentioned 10 a.m., 10 p.m. type of training.
Oh, for them? So I'm not sure because I wasn't that young when I got recruited. But I would think it would be very more ethical for them because they're babies and they got school and all that stuff. But I did too. But I'm just saying, like, I think it's different for each company and also what the parent wants to, you know, how they want to work with the company, scheduling and stuff. So I would say it all really depends. I know that's a broad answer, but it really depends on the company and the people. Yeah.
And I'll just ask one more question. Okay. So were there ever any resources provided by like the industry for things like therapy for mental health, or were there like physical professionals present during like the dancing training and stuff like that?
So we had choreographers, amazing choreographer team, but also we for mental health wise, so it's a little different. They didn't have that available, and I wish and I hope that there will be more because, you know, K-pop stars are, you know, it looks all glamorous again, but it's really hard, like mentally. And I'm not saying feel bad for them, I'm just saying that it's not what it looks like, and it's very taxing. But I would say, yeah, I hope there's more, but there wasn't at the time for me. You know, like counselors or people like that. There's friends, there's unnies, but, you know, it was a little different. And, you know, I really needed someone to draw me out rather than, I'm not very like, I wasn't at the time very like spoken or speaking my mind. But yeah, we would have our CEOs there sometimes at our practices. We would have our managers with us all the time. So they're the ones that help us, like, they drive us around and through traffic and pick up food and things that we can't do, even though we can, because of our practice and things that we have to focus on. So they really helped out a lot, and they sacrificed a lot too. So yeah, it's kind of what it was like. Yeah. Yeah, we have time, so.
On that note of training, like prior to your opportunity to join the K-pop group, what was your like musical training or background and stuff like that?
So to be honest, when I was what's that called? So audition time. I wanted to bring this up, but they told me like because I love to dance, so I was like, okay, that's fine. But then they were like, oh yeah, we need you to sing 2 songs. I was like, no way. I was very naive. I was like, no. Because at the time I didn't have aspirations, and I'm not trying to discredit those that do have aspirations to be a singer, etc. But I just mean like for me, I just wanted to be a marine biologist. Because I love the water. I just wanted to do something with water. I wanted to stay in Hawaii, and that's fine too. But so when this happened, I was like, what? No ways. I was like, I can't do this. And then my sister was like, Annie, why don't you just sing CCM songs? So that's Christian contemporary music, and that's what I'm comfortable with singing, because I do that, yeah. And then I was like, okay. So I sang 2 Christian contemporary music songs, and that was my audition songs. And like before that, I was very shy. So I never thought I could. I never thought I could do this. And everything my experiences opened me up to blossom, to be this person now. So yeah, I didn't, but I'm glad that the opportunity was presented, because now I'm who I am, and I love to sing, I love to dance. So yeah. Thank you.
Hi. I was just gonna ask, moving from here to Korea and having to, be particularly not available a lot of the time, how did that affect your interpersonal relationships with family and friends? Because you have to leave them here, and then when you're in Korea, you can't really you gotta do practice, as you said. So I just wanted to know what that was like.
Yeah, that's a good question, because the reality is, when we're closer to each other, when we're living in close proximity, it's easier to be closer, right? But so yeah, it was a little bit, at the time, there was no social media. It was still developing, but we didn't know about it. We didn't use it. So how do we keep in touch? Probably either phone call using a caller, the phone cards, or using email or something like that. Yes, email. So it was really slow, and it did take a effect on my relationships. But I mean, the friends and the people that I were with were very cool, and they were understanding, very understanding. But it was different. And but with my family, I try to call my mom almost every day, using the special number. And so with family, I try to check in all the time. But with friends, it wasn't as often. So it did happen. And what did I do? Well, when I came back to Hawaii, I would kind of meet up with them and stuff. But college years especially, I think you guys will find out too, or that you change and people change, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that's kind of what happens. So yeah, that's kind of what happened for me too. Yeah. Thank you.
So one more question.
Yeah.
So after the falling out, you guys all separated. What is everyone up to now? And would you look at going into the music industry again, doing your own, your own career, solo career?
Thank you. So actually, we're technically, physically, we haven't officially said we're split up yet. But what they're doing now is they're all in different companies, a handful of them, or they're independent, basically. But a lot of them are actresses, really successful actresses, or they're very up and coming, or there's a couple that are doing their own YouTube channels, and doing music still. So they're still pretty active. So what I'm really thankful for is that they're really active still, and they're just kind of doing their thing. So they're still doing that. But for me wise, the hard part was, because I kept moving around, but then I'm finally here for good, was finding artists, other artists. And I'm starting to find that kind of understand my style and things like that. So in the future, yeah, I'm definitely wanting to pursue music, and I've been thinking about it a lot, but I'm just waiting for the right team to come together. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not a producer, I'm not a musician yet. I'm learning guitar, but it's, but I'm trying to do that so that I could pursue other things. Yeah. Oh. After you, I want some people over here. Is it okay? Think of something, guys.
So when you were with your group in Korea, so I know you said you practiced and performed together almost constantly.
Yeah.
Did you get along with everybody? And if you didn't, were there times where it was very strained, or how were the dynamics in those relationships?
So thankfully, our girls, my aunties, my tongsang, so younger sister, older sister, they're great. They're really nice, and they have good personality, so it was easy. But for me personally, I didn't really have that much strife or disagreement. I was kind of always I was a foreigner too, so I was just like, I didn't really understand a lot of things. So I was just kind of very neutral. But if there was dispute or, disagreements and stuff, we were very professional. We were on stage, we did it, and then, I'm sure they took conversations offline and kind of talk about it because we're always together. So did it get weird? Yeah, it got weird. It's so uncomfortable. But you gotta make it through the uncomfortable stuff because it made the relationship it could get either better or worse. But from my experience, it's been better. So yes. So don't avoid the awkward stages. Just wait and talk it out because that's what we had to do. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Yes.
What idol or group that you met that you were starstruck over?
Oh my gosh.
Could you please explain how the interaction?
I can explain everything. Okay, so I don't really like fangirl or anything, but when I was in Korea, I was like, who knows Big Bang? Big Bang, right? Right. Okay. Besides everything that's going on, Big Bang at the time. So who knows T.O.P.? Yo! So we were at a major broadcasting station, and we have taekishiyas, which is like kind of weight rooms, the green rooms, but there's a lot of them. And so I was coming out, and then the doors are here. I'm drawing a picture for you guys. The sliding doors are here, where you enter. And then all of a sudden, you just see this guy in sunglasses kind of like this. Because his manager was with him, so he's like super like, whoa, who is this dude? And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's T.O.P. And then that was like, I was just like, cool. And then I left. I didn't want to be like that, But one of the moments was with T.O.P. because I was like, I really like his acting. I think he's a great actor. And of course his rap and such. So he's very talented. So I was starstruck with him. And then also Hyori 언니. Who knows Hyori 언니? Hyori Lee. So she's like an icon in Korea for K-pop, and so I got to work with her, and it was not like a squeamish starstruck, but it was more like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing here? Did I really go on a stage with her? Like this woman is top, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? So I had that moment of like, wow, this is cool. So that was exciting. Thank you. Anyone else here? Come on.
The room's gonna flip over from the way that you're...
Yeah, I know. I'm really visualizing it's like this right now.
Yeah, it does. I'm kind of leaning this way.
Hi. I just was curious about how did all of you girls get along? Because you're at an age when the hormones are raging. Yeah, and you're probably get to
real tough
with each other. Was there any drama?
Okay, so yes. So the thing was, we're all different ages. So someone could have been Ani was maybe 9 years older than me, and then it was kind of spread out, right? So one of my aunties, she's been through everything that we're kind of going through, right? And she's been in the industry for a long time. So I'm just it was different. But I think it came down to when I was answering his question was about personality. Our CEO knew how to choose girls that were really, they had a good personality, pretty good, character and such. So that's why it made it easier. But drama again, yes, there was drama. It was hard when we lived in a place. I think it was 8 girls. Yeah, 8 girls. And plus our manager sometimes. So 8, 9 people living in a villa, not that big. And we had 3 bathrooms, but one was kind of private, and then we had one downstairs, and then we had another one. So the battle for the bathroom was real. So I would get up early just so I could do it. And then I would end up waking up everybody because they're not waking up. So I was alarm clock too, guys. I wasn't just a picker-upper, people picker-upper, but I was alarm clock. But yeah, we had drama. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it might cause a news report for Korea, in Korea. But I would say, yeah, have you ever been in a place with someone like for a very long time. Yeah. You find ways to navigate through it, and I think it's really takes at least the parties involved, 2 people to work it out. So I think we were really good at that. Like we found ways to salute the stuffiness. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna fall over.
You said that every day would be like 10 to 10.
Kind of, yeah. But let me make it more realistic for you. But ask your question.
Well, I was gonna ask like, how would a day in life go? Did you have like any free time to like explore on what you wanted to do, stuff like that? Because like 10 to 10 seems kind of
yeah.
like unnatural at all.
So let me break it up. So when we're training for like a single that we're gonna do, it is like that 10 to 10 or even longer. But when we're doing the actual single, when we're performing in the major broadcasting stations, what it looks like is it takes about a whole day to do just that filming because there's like 20 other artists. So you basically wait. Your makeup starts, depending on when you start, makeup starts at like 6 a.m. and 3 hours, and you go to rehearsal, and then you wait, and then you do live. And sometimes people do pre-record, but it's mostly like one shot. So that's what it looks like. And if we're preparing for the next single, after that finishes at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., we go to the rehearsal room. So that's more than 10 hours. So when we're busy and we're actively promoting our music, it looks longer than 10 hours. And I'm not being dramatic. Like, literally, it's like that. And how do you have a social life? You go out after, I guess. So, like, when you're younger, you just have that energy. So basically you do that, or some days we get off. Like when we're just back into the regular rehearsal 10 to 10 or things like that. I go out after, or I find out when we have like 3 days, and then I go out. But sometimes they might call like a meeting, which happened once. I was watching a movie, and then I really wanted to finish it. But they called me, our management, and I was like, no. So I had to leave. And it's kind of like that. You don't really have a choice in a sense. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not set, is what I mean. And so it was hard, and I didn't like it really because I didn't control my schedule. We had a team controlling it, and I didn't like that. Like it was hard for me. So yeah, it was long hours. Like you're always working basically. Yeah, but it was fun because rehearsal room. But yeah, good. We're tilting a little bit this way now.
If you don't mind me asking, did you get paid good?
Everyone wonders about the pay, right? So how old was I at the time? I was like 18, 19. So yeah, it was good pay for when I was like 19 years old. I was making like a salary for like someone's year in like 6 months, but you don't know what kind of salary it is. You don't know which range it is. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm just saying at the time when I was younger, yeah, it was a lot of money for me. But I would say, again, the cost, like sacrificing your freedom in a sense and all that stuff, it wasn't worth it for me. And so that was one of the deciding factors. So it wasn't about money. It was about time and my health, and it was about what I wanted, and I didn't want to So I would really highly recommend, man, chasing money is exciting for the time, but it's really, you never have enough money. So it goes back to being in the moment, being thankful for what you have. Because if you find what you love to do and you don't like, and you pursue whatever that is, it'll come because you'll work hard for it. You'll pursue it. So that's the easy part, when you know who you are and who you're not. Because people always say hey, who are you? But who are you not too? What's your weaknesses? And that's okay. That's why we have each other, right? So that's a big lesson too I learned. You gotta know what you don't